Hello, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 9.11. And of course, we're playing East Japan. Now, this isn't going to be a super long diatribe. Oh, before we get to that, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Or after listening to this diatribe, you can dislike it. But because even that helps me so long. I get a lot more likes than I do dislikes, but was just had the TV on and was half watching a movie from back in 1968, and I sort of looked it up. I hadn't seen it before, and I don't know how much the context, if I would explain to you this quote that I'm going to say it would help the context, but they were sort of talking about violence and I don't want to get too much into it, but basically something, and the quote is very close to this: one day I hope they outlaw war, and then war is a crime. This is back in the 60s. Okay, you're going to outlaw war, and war is a crime. Okay, so what are you going to do to people who commit this crime of war? Fight a war against them? And then aren't you a criminal too? How do you, how do you stop someone like that? It just seems this sort of clever writing, naive 1960s viewpoint of man, if you will, that we could outlaw war, then it would be a crime, and then we could, punish those who commit this crime. And I just thought, how? Because I'm presuming it's not going to be 10 people in a basement deciding to commit a war, and then police with, after they start, I don't know, shooting people or something, a bunch of police with non-lethal weapons, pepper spray or, some sort of electric stun kind of stuff, and come in and subdue them non-dangerously, and then, okay, and we've also, of course, by this time, I'm sure, outlawed the death penalty, so, okay, we'll lock you up for, the rest of your lives for the crime of war. Yeah, okay, 10 people or so they could probably track down and get that way. But 10,000, 100,000 if you don't have soldiers? Oh, well, they would have soldiers. Oh, and soldiers, yeah, okay. Just, the idiocy of people. And again, like I'm going to say, I'm not going into a big diatribe here, and it's not just the, the village idiot or something, and I, really don't want to use demeaning terms or whatnot. I don't mean to, but just this idea that supposedly well thought out persons don't see massive holes in some of that stuff. Okay, well, mixed support, we've got no artillery there, though. So I'm thinking trying to use this here. There we have mixed support and pack artillery. So, okay. So we will give them the HQ, give them that. That now makes these guys better. And yeah, we'll send the HQ up to add to that division with the armored car and horse reconnaissance. Was this a good unit up here? We'll move it down. Not a good unit, but it can help hold the line kind of thing. So wars are going to happen. What you need to do is make laws for the conduct of the war. And then if people disobey the conduct of the war, have very bad penalties. Now, of course, there is one essential element there. You've got to win the war to be able to enforce those penalties. So you've got to be good at war. Okay, I wanted to add these guys here because they are of a similar speed. We can see here the carrier is just 2 kilometers per hour slower than the other two battleships, so we have neither one overly slowing up. Okay, well, we've moved up in the world to medium popularity. That is good. Battle commander recognition. Very good. I think destroyer right now. Or first, recon unit coordination. Now that's another one of those. Good to have, and we're going to leave that there because that improves movement rates through various terrains, which does affect the overall movement rates of any of those units they're stacked with. And because of medium popularity, we have more leadership. A little bit. Well, let's look back up here. Okay, there we go. And we're getting our air bases. We're getting some fighters. We already have 2, I believe. Yeah, we'll get the 3rd. We'll form another group. We don't have any fighters down here. Okay. Well. Is there only one? Oh. Okay, where are you? You are way up there. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Well, that's almost useless. But we'll leave you up there because we will move you down to one of the air bases down here. Very good. Okay. Yes, Tokyo needs to be protected, but I don't think the Chinese are going to hit that. So we're going to come down here. And that's it for proper fighters. The Great Hong Kong Typhoon on the 2nd of September 1937, an unnamed typhoon hit Hong Kong. It affected Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan. 11,000 people died in Hong Kong, 21 in Macau. Wow. Okay, let's... Oh good, we're getting these light divisions. Oh, not you, you guys. Okay, no, he's not the... We'll have other commands for him. There we go. And... Man, it's so not used to dealing with this. Okay, it's the Dai Nippon Daku or whatever. Okay, there we go. I was saying, I'm so not used to dealing with these guys. Old guard. He's probably better, even though he's just some generic. Hozawa. He should be Fleet Air Arm. I think much higher commands, if I ever know who that is. But he definitely shouldn't be doing what I presume is mostly Army duty as opposed to Navy. Now do we... Okay. Tojo? That's Tojo? Is it... Okay, is this a joke? Here we go, he's a maneuver. Now maybe these are real, I don't know, but where these are, you know, first and last name, these are just the last name with a letter. I think they're just generic. And I will totally grant them that it is much harder. But yeah, the two in Nagasaki we've looked at. I'm gonna guess that's not okay. Oh, wait a minute. Well, Tank Buster. He may be better for something else. Let's do this guy here. And he should not be a fleet destroyer. Well, I mean, he should not command this as a fleet destroyer. Yeah, that's okay. Now I know there's a bunch more units over here and there. Okay, they're all under. Okay, they're under our Air Force over here. Our Army, okay. Okay, because, well, he is a tank buster type guy. Good. No, we should have it better. Yeah, there's the police going by. Okay, we'll use Tojo. And their transport should not be a fleet. Let's come way down here and get just this dude. Just have a guy in charge. And again, shouldn't be. Yeah, say that, and then I may switch these all back over because I may want to put these guys on Nakajima. Well, that's... Is he related to the people who make the, or is the guy who makes the Nakajima aircraft? I should probably do more of that off camera, as it were, but alright, was thinking of it. I wanted to get them a bit more set up for operation. Most of the bombers should be able to do operating around here just fine, but once we start operating deeper in here, and yeah, I know that we do have the ability to capture 5 more air bases, it looks like. The level of 5 air base. There, I should say. And there's more deeper in, but I want to have a bit more, so that's why we're building these guys. And 1 or 2 of them will end up in Beijing, because I'm planning on doing Beijing once we well, let's see if we can do the okay, stop that. Another diplomatic mission to the US to sell more supplies. Once we get at war, because that the negative effects that we were getting, I think, won't be there if we form Beijing under wartime conditions. Okay, your Imperial Highness, shall we form the 18th Division near Tokyo? Sure, that just gets us the headquarters, I believe. We'll check. Oh, we have that right there. Yep. One of the viewers was, I don't think it was Rick, but maybe it was Rick, recently posted that they're planning on playing a similar campaign that we're doing now, and only taking the areas of China that Japan did take, and then sort of holding there. And that's an interesting idea, as opposed to trying to defeat the nationalist Chinese. My main concern about that is that if you leave China with too many units to defend, and they're sort of odd border shapes based on geography and even, you know, to be able to defend that territory, it may take more units to do so than historically required to do so. So meaning, because I get the idea is that you'll get the benefits from occupying the territories that you occupy. You won't be able to have all of the, you know, your main reserves of your army going like the current Hearts of Iron 4 Japanese campaign, like pushing into India, because you're going to have to still be fighting the Chinese. And I get that point, and I really do, is to put yourself under real world limitations. The problem is, you could you could spread divisions out. Now, I know you can do that here, but it's more like if you were playing with, I know a lot of people like Blacker Ice primarily because it would have 3 brigades or whatever instead of, or 4 or 2 or whatever, instead of just this 1. But there's reasons back and forth for both things, and they might have, well, when they originally did some of this, they didn't have the knowledge, not that it couldn't be done, they just didn't have the knowledge to expand it, the order of battle, more than like they've now done so. At least that's my understanding. I could be wrong on that, but the idea is that if you know, and I don't think the person is meaning to hold exactly the provinces, but generally speaking, meaning they might move to defend along a river or something like that. If you were to break this up, but break up sort of this into 3 different things and spread them out, that could easily, that 1 division could easily hold this line, or even spread it into, you know, 4, and better hold it so that you are only tying up as much troops as you tied up historically, versus what may be required to hold that ungainly borders. So it's a very interesting idea. I just don't know that it's going to achieve the results. I think it'd, and I don't know this, but I think it would mean more units. It would take more units than it did historically to hold. Then, as opposed to being offensive, even if you're not actually winning, but by pushing whatever back into a defensive line back in here, you'll have a much shorter border. That may be much more reasonable. Okay, advanced education. Yeah, that's way too far in advance. Let's get that pushed ahead. And aero engine research has advanced. Very good. Air cooling systems. So we got that. That's grayed out. Air systems. Air cooling. Well, that's way up in 42. That's very far in advance. But we can do this. This will help us. And then maybe do supercharger. No, and now we have more. That will help. Or we have even more. I'm not always looking over here. Okay. Okay, well now we have some air bases up near the front, so let's fly you up to here. Although it's only a level 1, and it's still obviously in the red right now. We're building a second one. It will mean that we'll have much closer interception ranges against the Chinese. They do have a bit of an air force. Okay, and we have these guys. Yeah, I think Osaka kind of thing is a good place to drop these guys. Okay. So unfamiliar with these. I mean, it's at best a handful of names I would vaguely recognize. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna keep River Engineer. Okay, we're gonna keep him. That's one we're gonna keep. That did Battle Expert. Cold weather, but 0 rank. I'd rather save him for a tank unit and grind him up. Combat. So no. Yeah, we could do that. And again, their tank guys are without or very low on skill levels otherwise. And I'm thinking they are looking at the historical realities, and I don't think the Japanese ever really figured out the idea of, you know, a real good combined arms operation. Not with using coordinated, keyword is coordinated, armor and air power, particularly. And that does make a big difference. Now, let's see, we have... Okay. We'll send that down. And we have that. We will send them down here. We're going to be starting soon, but not too soon. Not this episode. I do not think. No. That's not what I'm looking for. Thought we had a core, just a... I sent them in here. That's it. Thinking this... Homien gun. I guess that may be because I'm seeing Chubugun for that, but to command. The mobile ones will go for those guys. The other one will go for these light infantry divisions. Great War analysis. There have been analyzing the Great War. Okay, what tech was that? Defensive positions. Yeah, that affects way too many units. Yeah, we'll stop that. Okay. Well, the Japanese were pretty good at camouflage, so we'll do camouflage. They camouflage it pretty damn well and then run around with bright red and white banners. And yes, I'm sure that they sort of tucked those away when they were actually trying to hide their presence, and I'm sure to some degree, I don't think entirely, but to some degree they, you know, when the guy's taking the picture, he's going to either they're going to bring the flags out for the picture, or, and I don't mean just like going Banzai, you know, after victory, you know, you see him standing up there doing that. I'm talking about, I've seen plenty of troops that look to be troops maneuvering, not like being shot at immediately, but maneuvering in a, you know, combat footing. And, you know, so not staged in the sense of, you know, just for the cameras 50 miles behind the lines or something. But they're sort of doing it, and I'm sure the camera guy, you know, either they're going to maybe bring out the flags for the camera, or the camera guy is going to focus on where the flag is. And that's like the guy who has the flag tied to the end of the rifle, long rifles with bayonets. So, and he's like maybe the company flag bearer. So that's 1 out of 100 or 120 guys or whatever. And so that's like company commander is over here, tag, you know, don't get lost from us kind of thing. And, you know, so I'm sure it's not everywhere. And of course I'm using those images because they are good images for selling the videos. Everyone knows, instead of just a bunch of guys in helmets carrying rifles, oh, this has to do with Japan, and I don't have to put that on the image. Okay, stormtrooper tactics, and these are the World War I stormtroopers, not the Nazi guys later on, or the much newer or much more ancient guys running around in white in the Star Wars movies who can't shoot straight. Okay, medium artillery upgrade. Oh, that's here, yes, okay. And, guess we can continue that. We got a fair amount. Well, no, we don't have too much. We'll be back to that later on. Because we probably even should start some of these here. Yeah, because we have these 38 technologies, and we're getting close to 38. And it has a minor penalty now. So let's... we have most problems with oil, though. That's going to take a little longer, so let's get oil refining going. Don't know the weather in this. Probably not the best weather to be time of year to be starting in it, but let's take a look. I'm not worried so much about rain, but snow. Probably does snow up here. Get down here, it doesn't snow that much, I don't think. Because it's just a little north of the Philippines. At least at the altitudes that most people live at. Alright. Come down here. We got these guys to help cut off China's trade. Okay, so I'm thinking that's Navy, but I don't know. I don't recognize the uniforms well enough. If they're going to be wearing white, Japanese Navy, I believe, at least on board ship and in normal bases, they're going to be wearing either white or dark blue. But you can't always tell that in these photos. And you may go, why is there Navy? Well, I'm guessing, though I'm not sure. These are mostly Army, but like that, I don't know. This is for the, naval infantry, marine type generals. Now those two, especially him, he looks Navy. So, yeah, we'll give our special naval landing force. Let's call it the first, just to define it, versus the other one. Oh, is this now too long? Yeah, Warren ST, First Naval Landing Force Corps. There we go. That way, when I come over here, click on this, we will take them out and put them under that. And do the same thing for this one. And do the same thing for this one. Okay. I need more intermediate. Well, let's put him under this guy who is under that, and we don't have anybody here, but let's see if we can. We found somebody who looked like he was in a naval uniform. Like this guy here. I'm sure he's not Army. So, and he enter Allied Victory Medal, okay. And Commando Night Attack. Yeah, we'll put him there. Decline. Attritional warfare. Oh, we want to let that continue going. I would have given Japan a bit more of a bonus with attritional warfare because of the Russo-Japanese War, which really was a presaging war to what was going to be happening in World War I. It had lots of trench warfare, sieges of large earthwork areas, you know, Port Arthur or Vladivostok type, big earthen type sieges with big guns blasting, big Krupp guns going off, that kind of thing, and that's sort of attritional warfare to me. Okay, I'm gonna guess this one. Nope. This one. Okay, the 8th. So better to give the HQ to the better equipped division there. Yeah. So it's not gonna really matter too much as long as we don't click the same one as we did. To give him a little more bonus for combined arms. Not gonna make them wonder divisions, but still they will function a bit better. Okay, mobile unit combined arms says advanced. Very good. Okay, I think we need to do the industry thing here. And just because it takes so long, we're going to do the rare materials next. Because once we go to war, and that will probably be next episode, we're very close to that. We're going to have a big bump up in needs of these because we'll have more ICs. So we'll have a lot of ICs costing to you know, reinforce, fill up the reserve units to full strength. And no, it won't help immediately, but it will be helpful. Too far away, too far away. We're not buying fuel from you. Too far away. Okay, well, it's getting into the point that I don't know if we're ready, but we're more ready. Oh, I wanted to. Okay, we've got. Okay, that I did want to check that. So we have 2 light carriers and 4 pretty good battleships, slow battleships, but and 5 destroyers to deal with submarines, though of course the carriers or their aircraft do help with that. So that is a good capability. Okay, we will. Oh, we're gonna change you. Nagano. Yeah, I think you do better. these guys, which we're going to use these coastal battleships either here and or here as shore bombardment kind of things. And of course pound these guys if they come, or when they come out once we take that. But I think on that note, we're going to end the episode here. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. I do appreciate that. And as I asked before, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Love to see you around more often for more great Hearts of Iron content. And of course, please post questions, comments, suggestions, corrections. Love hearing from you. See you next time for more. You got it. Hearts of Iron.